Hey guys, what's up? KLN here and welcome back to another video on the channel, and today is the start of the Shapeshifters promo and we are kicking it off with a 98 rated Shapeshifters Virgil Van Dijk review. So he's the most expensive one, 6'4" tall, medium high work rates, right footed primarily. Last time I checked his price he was extinct at 5.7 million. I was lucky enough to get his loan from the player pick. Now we can start at CDM and centre mid, and obviously the huge difference is the plus 13 if I'm not mistaken to the shooting as compared to his gold card, taking it all the way up to 80, which makes this card usable at centre mid / CDM. Now I've gone with the basic chem style because I feel like it does boost the stats that need to be boosted, and honestly I can't really pick a specific stat to boost or a specific chem style to boost those certain stats given the stats that he does have. So I think with the basic chem style, boosting the agility, the ball control and the dribbling is perfect, and it does also keep him as that lengthy accelerate type, as well as boosting the attack positioning just in case you want him to make those runs from centre mid into the box. Passing on the card looks phenomenal, obviously maxes out the short pass and the long pass and improves the curve as well, while giving him 99 sprint speed. So I think the basic chem style is the way to go for this card. It's got the leadership traits and the power header traits. I'm going to try them out as CDM and centre mid and centre back for those of you that love playing 5 back. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the gameplay highlights with 98 rated Shapeshifters Virgil Van Dijk. So I'm heading into the first clip of this video, starting off with a brilliant assist, a wonderful progressive pass there from Van Dijk. Just zips that ball through the midfield to find Rijkaard, who goes ahead and does the rest. By the way, I will be making a Frank Rijkaard review shortly. That will be out on the channel very soon. But here Van Dijk with a good interception, a great run forward, makes that pass into Rijkaard, and we can go forward from there. But you guys can just see he does definitely have the ability to retain possession and actually dribble around with the ball. That though is definitely going to be a penalty. He just pushes Van Dijk over, which to be honest I didn't think was possible, but I'm going to take the penalty with Van Dijk anyway. He's got pretty solid free kicks, that's I won't lie. So anyway, taking the penalty with Van Dijk, going to Panenka it down the middle, and the keeper dives to the right at the last second. So we do end up getting the first goal of this video with Van Dijk from the penalty that he managed to win by himself. Moving on to the next clip here, this guy has the ball. Van Dijk comes in with a good interception and some pretty good dribbling actually, and you know what, I want to test out the long shots on the card, and it wasn't the greatest of efforts, but pretty good swerve on that one, and 2 seconds later we end up getting a corner, and here showcasing the dribbling ability as well as the strength that this card has. Good turn, quick dribbling, La Croqueta gets away from his man, gets into the box, 1-2 Di Natale, gets the ball back, and unfortunately he doesn't really have good volleys or good finishing. But regardless, good movement before that just to get into that position. Speaking of movement here, showing good defensive awareness to drop into the space, knows where the attacker is going to be, gets there, wins the header. Obviously he's Van Dijk, regardless of whatever position he's going to win pretty much every single aerial duel, but this is not what I'm expecting from Van Dijk. Into the box on the left foot, 5-star weak foot, and he finds the bottom right corner. That is a very good goal from Van Dijk. Honestly, pretty much sums up everything this card stands for. Being a shapeshifter card, he's got the 5-star weak foot, he can take long shots, he can now shoot from outside the box. Apart from having the outstanding defensive ability that he does have, he can also pick out passes like that. What a pass, once more showcasing the 5-star weak foot on the card. Beautiful ball, middle of nowhere, picks out De Bruyne with, like I said, a sensational pass, and we do end up getting another assist. Here this guy has it with Modric trying to dribble around Van Dijk, went for the slide tackle to force him backwards, and eventually I decided, after jockeying for 100 million years, to just go for the slide tackle, and he absolutely crunches Luka Modric and wins it back. Here another great pass from Van Dijk, gets it into Di Natale. Rodrigo stays onside. I should have probably sweated that across goal to Frank Rijkaard, but unfortunately didn't, and unfortunately doesn't end up in a goal. But this does end up in a goal, and Van Dijk does end up with an assist. Lovely pass, just pops it up for Rodrigo, who opens up, Di Natale, who opens up his body and places it into the back of the net. And like I said, that was another assist by Virgil van Dijk. So we can move on to the next game here, into the next assist. Does well, picks the ball up in midfield, gets away from a couple players and unleashes a beautiful pass into Di Natale once more, who goes ahead and does the rest. But we're not done just yet in this game here. Van Dijk has caught on it by Lobotka. I try to make that pass from Saliba to Van Dijk, who for some reason just leaves it, but he steps in, makes a good interception once and twice. Di Natale is making the run at the top end of your screen. Great pass from Van Dijk and a pretty simple enough finish from Di Natale, and we do end up getting what should have been the last assist of this video, but I did bring him on off the bench by mistake, making a quick sub in the last game. I needed to get qualification points for weekly qualifiers, and he ended up coming off the bench at 80 minutes and actually getting a pretty decent assist from centre mid, takes a touch to control the ball, plays it through, and Rodrigo goes ahead and does the rest. So that was the last clip of this video, and with that being said, it is time to review the card. And as you guys can see, in 7 games, it surprisingly managed 2 goals and 6 assists. That is all at CDM, with pretty much only 45 minutes in total at centre mid. That is genuinely very surprising. I really didn't expect that. So anyway, moving on to the actual details. So when it comes down to the chem style on the card, I'll discuss this first, then head into the stats. Now, if you're playing this guy at centre mid, I think Hunter chem style is the way to go to boost the acceleration as much as you can, as well as the attack positioning and the finishing, because from centre mid, despite having medium-high work rates, he is going to run forward into the box occasionally, and you are going to need much better finishing stats than he does have. So if you're playing him at centre mid, Hunter chem style. Otherwise, any other position, if you're playing him at CDM, then I think the basic chem style is the way to go. It improves the dribbling perfectly. I think him being lengthy obviously is the way to go with this Virgil Van Dijk card. Can't imagine him being controlled. That'll be pretty weird, I'll be honest with you. So I think if you're playing him as CDM, basic is the way to go. And if you're playing him as centre back, then well, I'd probably say an anchor chem style, just to max out the defending and the physical and to give him even more acceleration. But anyway, with the basic chem style, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 for pace. He feels very fast on the ball, especially at full speed. Nobody can catch up to him. Shooting is solid. He did score the one bouncer from outside the box, but he did miss a few chances from inside the box, and that is due to the lack of finishing that this card does have. So when it comes down to the shooting, I think 8 out of 10 does suffice. Passing on the card is absolutely phenomenal. Now, it does not look like he's got insane passing because of the 70 crossing, but honestly, you're not going to be crossing with Van Dijk. So for the passing, I'm going to go ahead and give him a 9.6 out of 10. It is absolutely phenomenal. When it comes down to the dribbling, I think the dribbling is surprisingly pretty good. 87 agility, maxed out reactions with maxed out composure, and well, almost maxed out ball control. I think the dribbling is very underrated for a guy that is 6'4" tall. He keeps the ball very close to his feet, so I'm going to go ahead and give him a 9.2 out of 10 for the dribbling. Defending, sensational. It's Van Dijk. I don't know what else you're expecting. Straight up 10 out of 10. And physical, I'm going to go ahead and give him also a 10 out of 10. He's 6'4" tall and he's got 99 strength with 95 aggression, and he can last a full 90. Remember, he's not playing against stronger attackers. He's going to be playing up against midfielders. Some of them are kind of weak. So at the CDM position, especially being matched up mainly against cams from the other team, attacking midfielders rather, from the other team, he is going to most likely body them off the ball. So when it comes down to the best position for this card, I think CDM is the way to go, especially due to, like I said several times, the lack of finishing ability that this card has. But all in all, I think yeah, CDM is the way to go. Best chem style, I would say, is the basic chem style. And is he worth the 8 million coins you will have to pay for him? Remember, I did say he was extinct at 5.7 million earlier on in this video, at the start of the video. I did just check his price now, and EA have increased his price range, so obviously his price is very high at 8 million. Do I think he's worth it? I think this is the best defensive midfielder in the game without a doubt. Now, if you have the coins, go ahead and pick him up if you have good players around him. And obviously you don't need him to just carry your entire team, which he can do for 8 million coins. You have a mediocre defense, a mediocre midfield. You put Van Dijk at defensive mid and he'll pretty much do both for you. He'll create like a midfielder and he'll defend like a centre back. So this guy will genuinely carry a team. If you somehow have the coins, go ahead and pick him up, but he is obviously very expensive. But anyway, that is my opinion and that is my thoughts on the card. So with that being said, I do bring an end to this video. If you liked it, smash the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until then guys, stay tuned for the next one. Peace.